Well, hey there, it's Chris Cashman. Do not attempt to adjust your television set. I'm coming to you from what is believed to be Seattle's first and oldest underground parking garage. They used to build and store Ford Model Ts down here. I know, it's cool. I'll tell you about it upstairs tonight on Evening.
Get ready to hit the pickleball courts rain or shine at Chef Ethan Stoll's new concept that's all about food and fun.
Hang out with friends, grab a bite to eat.
I'm St. Brian in Tacoma with the story of two brothers who hand-built a legacy, the Stradivariuses of wooden canoes.
Plus, the photographers capturing and sharing the Northwest with the world.
You're right on time. Welcome to the show. We are just checking into the historic MarQueen Hotel here on Lower Queen Anne. I can smell the fresh cookies. And when I say historic, I don't mean it's old. I mean there is rich history in this hotel. Don't let this renovation fool you.
If the MarQueen Hotel's walls could talk, it might sound something like this.
This was built in 1918. It housed students that were in the engineering program for Henry Ford.
The students that used to live here helped design the Ford Model T. This hotel was recently renovated, but they didn't put the past in the rearview mirror. You can find car culture nods everywhere, from the Ford keys hanging on the wall to the Tin Lizzie Lounge. That's what they used to call the Model T, kids.
We're so proud of this property, and we wouldn't want to change it and really just try and keep it alive, and the history and the story behind it is so important to tell.
This place even pioneered parking.
We were one of the first underground garages in the city.
Yes, the rotary phones work, and you'll be greeted with cookies when you arrive. And once you settle into this boutique hotel, you'll be surrounded by Seattle's past and present, both inside and out.
A lot of the suites have views of the Seattle Center and Space Needle, which is really fun. What I love the most about this is just the warmth that it has. We wanted people to come and stay with us and feel like they're at home. Really warm and inviting. That's how we want all of our guests to feel when they're staying at the MarQueen.
Even more reasons to love staying here at the MarQueen. Dog friendly, they've got the treats ready and waiting for you. And speaking of treats, when I hear that Chef Ethan Stoll opens up a new spot, I get excited. But this new one has got a twist. He's taking on pickleball with Picklewood. That's right, Soto's newest pickleball extravaganza, food, drink, and fun. And Jose had to check it out.
I'm in Picklewood in Soto. You can say it's a place that has a lot of pickleball courts with the restaurant and bar, or you can also say that it's a good, fun restaurant and bar that happens to have pickleball courts.
Picklewood is kind of loosely based on Bushwood from Caddyshack, the movie. Our whole thing here is we want to be country club vibe, not take ourselves too seriously as a country club, obviously. Just kind of make it a really, really casual, fun environment.
Mixing pickleball with, a great food and beverage program was an idea that I had to be really similar to bowling alley or Topgolf. So just the ability to come and relax a little bit, play pickleball, and have a beer is kind of the vibe we're going for. This is a 25,000 square foot facility. So welcome to Picklewood. These are our 3 teaching courts. This is where we run a lot of our lessons, where we run some of our leagues. We also have some courts with lounges. This is our courtside bar where you can have any mixed drinks. So one of the great things about Picklewood is we have these garage doors where you can walk right into our restaurant and bar.
We are here for people to come and gather with groups, and hang out with friends, grab a bite to eat. So we got a variety of things here at Picklewood. This is just a small few plates of things. So we got our signature burger here. We got our fish witch. We got a Dungeness crab roll. We got a steak frites here. We got great salads. You can kind of get whatever you need down here.
Is there anything that you would say it's a must for people to try if they've never been here?
Our pickle fries for sure. Pickle flavored fries.
Let's talk about the bar.
We've got 8 beers on tap, wide variety of cocktails. All have Picklewood themes.
This is the Let Me Cook, and of course, it has pickles. It's good.
They even have a pro shop where you can find merch, balls, paddles, and more.
They also have a ping pong table.
We just want it to be a place where people can come and hang out, even if you're not playing pickleball.
But if you are in it for the game, they got you covered with open play and classes.
What is about pickleball that now everybody wants to play, even though it's not a new sport?
Well, it's an incredibly easy sport to pick up. It's very accessible.
I guess I'm gonna have to try my pickleball moves.
It's Daniel Strain, I'm the head pro at Picklewood. We're gonna learn how to serve. You gotta serve behind this line, the baseline. Serve has to be underhanded. Ball's gotta go all the way into the opposite quadrant. Yes, yes, yes. Now you know how to serve, dude.
How good are you at the game?
I'm very mediocre.
That's okay, because Picklewood is really about having a good time. Whether you're looking to play, eat, or just relax with a drink.
Thank you, Jose. Picklewood is open every single day. Courts unlock at 8 a.m. The restaurant opens up at 11. All right, next we head south to Tacoma, where for more than half a century, two brothers have crafted some of the finest wooden canoes anywhere in America. Their story has inspired a book and now a movie. And Saint joins us from Tacoma with more.
Hey, for more than 5 decades, Earl and Floyd Willits built not just canoes, but handcrafted works of art right here on Tacoma's Day Island. They were built to glide across northwest waters, yet you'll find quite a few on display inside Tacoma's Foss Waterway Seaport. Stunning examples of craftsmanship from another era. These are Willits Brothers canoes, and each one tells a story of two brothers who devoted their lives to perfection.
The main thing is the quality of construction is just second to none.
Pat Chapman has written a book about the Willits brothers, who began building canoes in 1908. By 1921, they'd established their factory on Tacoma's Day Island, where they would work for the next 5 decades.
They had division of labor. Earl cut the parts out downstairs, shipped them upstairs for Floyd to put together.
Over 50 years, the brothers built more than 900 canoes, purchased by hobbyists, summer camps, and rental places. All 17 feet long, all meticulously crafted with the same red cedar Native Americans had been using for thousands of years.
It's buoyant, it's lightweight, it's durable. It really is kind of an ideal, almost magical material for the purpose of being a boat.
When the brothers died, the factory was sealed, essentially mothballed for another 50 years. Everything remained exactly as the brothers had left it.
It was really like opening King Tut's tomb.
These boys kept a diary in the form of photographs, file cabinets full of letters and correspondence. They recorded just about every detail of their lives.
Pat and Michael were convinced they discovered a great subject for a documentary. Director Mick Flane wasn't so sure.
Where's the hook? Where's the conflict? You know, how am I going to tell a story about two guys that made canoes?
But Mick soon got on board, especially when he learned how highly sought after these canoes remain to this day.
To me, it started building and building and building to where I thought, well, yeah, we have something.
The result is the award-winning documentary Makers on the Tide, which happens on this day to be getting a new ending. After the filmmakers made yet another discovery hanging from the rafters of a motor shop in Spanaway, the oldest Willits Brothers canoe on record.
It's funny to have the culminating end of the story be the beginning of the story.
Another testament to two lives lived in pursuit of perfection.
Thank you, Saint. You can see the canoes for yourself at the Foss Waterway Seaport there in Tacoma.
Still to come on Evening. Meet the crew responsible for taking these stunning photos of Seattle. And the latest from the punk rockers who put Bremerton on the map.
Wow! Local stories make a difference.
That's good.
With the power to enrich lives, strengthen communities, and make us smile. Evening is made possible by Primera Blue Cross. Primera Blue Cross, always in your corner.
And welcome back to the show. We are at the historic MarQueen Hotel. This is the Tin Lizzie Bar, open every day. And kind of a wink, a bit of a tribute to the Ford Model T heritage in this building. Very cool. Make sure you check it out. It is a photogenic property indeed. And speaking of which, we sent out our own Jose Cedeno with some local photographers here in Seattle. They are behind a very popular Instagram account.
It's all about highlighting the bright side of our city and the beauty of the Northwest. Pictures that tell a story. It's no wonder why the Instagram account Seattle, Washington has many followers. Let's meet the crew behind it.
My name is Jordan Wessels. I've always been a very creative person. I loved drawing and painting until I was gifted my first camera. Once that happened, that day changed my life.
My name is John Cardenas. I started photography when I was very young, since I was like 12 years old. Cities to me are so filled with passion, with colors.
Andres Teresa. When I first started, I had a big camera. Then I realized we have the same technology in our little phones. And that's kind of the realization for me that changed everything. You have the power in your hands.
The thing with photography is that it's completely subjective. No one can tell you if you're good or not. I found that incredibly beautiful. You're the creator. When I moved to the city, I didn't know a single person. I didn't have anyone to take photos of, but the city is always there, and it became my first friend when I moved here. What was the question again?
We have such a beautiful city, but we have the best group of photographers out here. They're all just so talented and dedicated to their craft. One Instagram account has the power to reach such a big audience. We're taking that responsibility, you know, to create something beautiful, to be good for the community.
We want to become a source of inspiration for people. I mean, we started this and we keep doing this out of our hearts.
The concept is simple. Use the platform to create a community and give local photographers opportunity to be seen. We're doing a night session today. It's very cold, but the colors look great.
I love the neon lights at night, especially with the snow. They're just extra bright. Just kind of reminds me of a neo-punk gothic city in it.
There is something cool about having the whole market for yourself. I kind of can see why these guys are doing this.
Nighttime, the city tends to slow down. We often get caught up in our day-to-day lives and we forget to stop and look around.
Seattle really looks like this. It's a gorgeous city.
So many realities. Value your time, value your moment.
Cool work. If you want to give them a follow, just look up @Seattle, Washington. It's got a ring to it. Now, if you grew up around here in the 90s with a skateboard in your hand, there's a good chance that a punk band from Bremerton provided a lot of the soundtrack. It's familiar to me indeed. Here's a look back at the last time we caught up with MXPX.
For more than 25 years, the Bremerton boys of MXPX have been performing songs about the trials of those teenage years.
I spent a lot of my childhood writing songs about confusion and about trying to get it, trying to understand what's really going on. Am I being lied to?
Originally called Magnified Plaid, Mike Herrera, Yuri Rulli, and Tom Wisniewski started playing together as students at Central Kitsap High School.
Graduation was on a Monday. We shot our first video for a song called Wine Tad over in Seattle on a Tuesday. And on Wednesday we jumped in the van and didn't come back for 2 months. We just drove around the country playing shows.
And so began a 15-year cycle of touring, writing, and recording, shooting videos, selling millions of albums, and building a fan base that will meet MXPX whenever and wherever they play.
From the time I was 15 till I was in my early 30s, all we did was tour, make records. I mean, really live this pretty incredible life that honestly I took a lot of it for granted. And I think because I didn't know anything else.
But even punk rockers have to grow up. Both Mike and Yuri are dads, and both Yuri and Tom have full-time jobs at the Naval Shipyard. Still, get them together, and it's almost like they're teenagers again.
I think the key is we're always trying to get back to where we were years ago. That feeling of youth, that feeling of childhood, and that's what music kind of does for us. We've always been kids because we've always been doing music.
They may look a little different, but this is the same MXPX, giving it all at the punk rock show.
We've changed over the years for sure, but I think our core mission is to uplift people, be positive, be truthful, be real, and be authentic. That's so important to us, and in that respect, we haven't changed. It's good to be here.
How cool. The guys from MXPX are still rocking. They're playing a show at the Showbox January 10th. I feel like I should smash this glass in their honor. Way to go, boys.
Coming up, Cisco Morris takes you on a tropical retreat filled with houseplants you can grow yourself.
And welcome back to the show. We are here at the MarQueen Hotel Tin Lizzy Bar, open every day of the week to hydrate you, especially on the dark, cold days of winter. How would you like to get away? A desert getaway, but without actually traveling? It is possible. I know a guy. You probably know him too. Here's Cisco Morris.
I'm here in the Volunteer Park Conservatory greenhouse, built in 1912, was the biggest thing that ever happened to Seattle. And I'm in the cactus and succulent house right now, and I got some really cool plants to show you. Look at this little oddball right here. This is a Pachypodium. These come from Africa and Madagascar. And they have this little fat bottom there. That's to store nutrients and water to get them through the really tough droughts that they go through where they live. And they not only have a cool shape to them, look at this guy here. This is the queen of the Pachypodiums. I've never seen one with a fatter little caudex than that guy right there. And look, they have beautiful flowers to boot. This is a euphorbia. And normally when you see a euphorbia, they just grow straight up. But these have a genetic problem. For some reason they mutated, and you get this exotic, fantastic growth. This has got to be the coolest plant I've ever seen in my whole life. But wait till I show you the queen of the whole bunch. Look at this one right there. So that is, we call these crested euphorbias. That plant right there, I'll bet you it's 100 years old. So come to the Volunteer Park greenhouse, enjoy a desert experience in the middle of winter, and check out some of these incredibly cool plants.
Ooh la la, indeed. Thank you, Cisco. You can support the Volunteer Park Conservatory simply by visiting.
Up next, a local author's kids book celebrating food and family.
Food is, I think, community to me.
Now in our 40th season, Evening shares local stories that make our community shine. Evening is sponsored by Pemco Insurance. Pemco empowers the Northwest to prevent the preventable. Learn how at pemco.com.
And welcome back to the show from the historic MarQueen Hotel. Come check out the renovation, the perfect staycation opportunity. Curl up with a good book. You know, a Seattle author has actually written a kid's book that celebrates food in family, no matter where it comes from.
Before my parents or their parents were born, my ancestors lived all across the world.
When Seattle's Quinn Murphy was a kid, hanging out in the kitchen with her parents, she had no idea it would inspire her first book.
When they moved away from their homes, my ancestors brought a very special part of their culture with them: food.
What Did My Ancestors Eat is a children's book that celebrates culture through food and family.
Food is, I think, community to me.
Quinn didn't write this book just to sing the praises of her dad's jambalaya, influenced by jollof rice from Africa, or to celebrate her mom's scones, which began in Scotland as bannock. She wrote it for mixed-race kids, like her.
I was an avid reader growing up. I've always loved reading, and I can't really pinpoint a book in like my K-12 experience that I read that had a mixed race character in it. When my ancestors were enslaved, they brought the recipe with them to the Americas. And I didn't want to fudge that, and I didn't want to pretend like that story was anything other than what it was, which is we came from West Africa, we weren't brought here of our own volition, we were enslaved people, and then we landed in New Orleans.
This is not to say that What Did My Ancestors Eat will be a big heavy for your 4-year-old. Rather, this book could connect them with more than a meal the next time the family sits down together to eat.
I think that kids have a wild capacity to understand far beyond what we think they can.
How cool. What Did My Ancestors Eat was actually chosen to represent Washington in the 2025 National Book Festival. How cool. Thanks for watching. Thanks to the MarQueen Hotel. Come stay. Living history. We'll see you next time. Ooh. Are you still here?